Hey guys, welcome back to the Mist of Social Anxiety and Depression. Today's topic is going to be on medication and psychotherapy. I've written a few pages about it, so I will be reading out from that. Okay, so basically medication has one main purpose. It is not like a magic pill that transforms clouds into rainbows, making the world a magical place to be or anything. But what medication has done for me, it's created a safety net which brings my mood up to a generally tolerable level, and it prevents me from sinking deeper into the black hole of depression. So it's merely a crutch that sort of stabilizes my mood. Obviously I'm still prone to having dark days and periods of sadness like most people. Basically I had to learn the value of medication the hard way. So I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, I had been taking medication to boost my mood and help me cope a little better with life's challenges. I had a job and a girlfriend, so I was relatively content with life, or at least life was a little brighter. I felt life was improving and decided to stop taking the medication by weaning myself off it. I thought I didn't need it anymore. I was off for a couple of months and I seemed to be doing quite well without it. The relationship then came to an end, and I felt like my world had come to an end. The mist was back, thicker and darker than ever. I was lost again. I tried to rebuild my life and reconnect with old friends, but I felt down and out. My world was drained of colour, and any beauty that had started to emerge was gone. I was completely deflated, and a deep sadness filled my soul, I guess. I didn't know what to do. So I was determined not to give up. I tried everything to pick myself back up, but nothing seemed to work. All the positive aspects had, in my eyes, come crashing down around me as a result of the breakup. So I was sinking deeper and deeper into the black hole, and suicide, I'll admit, had entered my mind for the first time in my life. I remember one day I was leaving the supermarket, and as I walked outside I felt what I can only describe as a feeling of despair and great sadness falling over me. I had hit rock bottom and I needed help if I was to continue being in the world. I remember the short walk home that seemed to last an eternity, and all I wanted to do was curl up in a dark corner and die. I had two choices: death, or I could start taking medication again. I had nothing to lose. I had to try. So I went back on medication, and the medication made life a little bit more bearable, allowing me to function better. Looking back on that period, I honestly don't think I should have stopped my medication just because I felt that it was not doing anything to help me any further. the truth is, it was probably working so well that I began to question my need for the medication. And that was my big mistake. Now that I know this, I'm aware that while my life is still difficult with medication, it will be much, much darker without the pills. The medication is essentially like a life jacket that stops you drowning. Of course you still get wet, but at least you keep your life. So medication has helped me to keep fighting and hoping for a brighter future. Without it, I know, I think it's reasonable to say that I would not be here. I remember thinking that going to talk to a psychotherapist was something to be ashamed of and something that I would never do. I thought it was something that only mad people did. And it wasn't something I was too keen on signing up for. However, after thinking long and hard about it, I decided that there was no different to meeting a dentist, a doctor, or a personal trainer. I mean, they're there to listen, give advice without being critical or judgmental. It is somewhere safe, where you can voice your problems and seek advice. Keeping all your feelings and troubles bottled up inside you is never a good idea. You need to get them out of your head. I cannot stress the importance of having someone who you trust and who you can regularly speak openly with about what's going on inside your head. It is like releasing the pressure on a pressure cooker. It allows you some relief. You could tell them everything that you would not feel comfortable telling others in your life, as you may not wish to upset them or simply want privacy. Having someone to talk to is such an important thing to have. You do not have to suffer alone. So you should start by simply committing to one appointment and take it from there. No matter how dark things get, knowing that there's at least one person that will listen to you it's priceless. It's so important. So medication on its own cannot fix everything. There's no magic pill. That's just the truth. However, medication, it can be used to bring up your mood to a level where you feel it is more possible to improve your life. So medication almost brings about hope into your life, and allows you to look forward to making positive changes in your life. So medication along with psychotherapy, so when combined, they can be really beneficial together. They're like the dream team. So without first having medication, I would honestly never have dreamed of going and talking to a psychotherapist. I just wouldn't. I was so low, I didn't want to speak to anyone, let alone a complete stranger. I was alone in my suffering, and I thought by hiding it and covering it up, it would simply go away. It involves work and commitment. But if you truly want to improve in your life, then it's an easy choice. The possibility of an improved life is worth the effort. For me, the mist is a combination of social anxiety and depression, resulting in very real feelings of detachment, fear, and hopelessness. It is a life of constant discomfort and invisible pain. You feel lost in life, detached from the world, with a constant belief that you are an outsider, meaning you never fully belong anywhere. I do believe, however, that there is somewhere in the world where each and every person can find an environment that is most suited to their needs or character. So basically, what is right for some people may be wrong for others, and vice versa. I don't know where that place in the world is for me yet, but I'm sure it is out there waiting to be found. A place where the mist thins out and you become attached, allowing your social anxiety and depression to be kept at more manageable levels, ensuring you're able to live and experience a more pleasant life. So basically, everyone is different, and I'm confident that we can all get to where our heart not only belongs but thrives. It takes a huge amount of courage to look inside and face your demons. Getting to know yourself is one of the greatest gifts you can give to yourself. Listening to what is inside is not always an easy thing to do. I know that. But I feel it is extremely important that we do so, because we can learn so much by being honest and open with ourselves. Attempting to block out, hide, or ignore what's inside actually makes things worse and prevents you from making any positive progress in improving your mental health. By being brave enough to examine deep inside yourself despite the discomfort, you can learn a lot of valuable information that you can then use in order to develop and grow as a person. Self-reflection and analysis can help identify the main causes, contributors to your unhappiness or discontent with life. So, making the decision to examine what is inside you can reveal how you work best in life. It requires a huge amount of courage to do this, but it is essential if you're serious about improving your mental health. Knowledge is power, and the better you know and understand yourself, the more effectively you can begin to make positive, lasting changes in your life. So psychotherapy can be the catalyst for bringing about positive change, positive life changes and improvements. It can provide a comfortable environment where you can use the time to talk and think about things you most likely cannot in normal circumstances. The psychotherapist is there for you to facilitate this process of self-discovery and support you on this journey. So voicing your feelings and opinions out in the open, obviously it's difficult, but it can also be extremely liberating. It can be therapeutic and relieving in itself just to have brought them out of your head and into the open. You and the psychotherapist can then face the demons and examine them in detail together. It is by studying the enemy that you discover their weaknesses and can overcome them. having someone there to help you on this voyage of self-discovery is something I consider to be vital in learning how to manage your mental health effectively. So reaching out and asking for help doesn't make you weak. It means quite the opposite. That you are actively seeking positive change in your life. In making this effort, you are taking control of your life and proactively making the effort to bring out positive change. So I feel that both medication and psychotherapy have their benefits and should be used together in order to get the best results. So it's not a quick solution, and it still requires a huge amount of effort on your behalf, but it does help to bring some colour back into your life and allows you to grow as a person. So to have this help available to you and not make use of it, that makes no sense. You either want to get better or you don't. Simple as that. There's no shame in getting help, and by not reaching out, you are in fact only making things worse. The reality is that it takes great strength to admit that you need help, and you owe it to yourself to get the help you deserve. If you imagine a loved one feeling the way you are, what advice would you give them? Take your own advice. Your mental health should be your top priority. The best bit of advice I can give you is to start by reaching out today. You owe it to yourself. Until next time, thank you for watching.